Hello. All right. Since I'm audible, I think we should start the class. Let me introduce myself again. My name is Martin, by the way. Martin Machebe. I'm a content dev and smart contract developer. And I do other stuff too. I'm not a one job person. You guys, I do different stuff. Yeah. So um let me share my screen real quick. All right. So sorry about that. We are back. Um so today we're talking about Git and GitHub. Uh, so let me share my screen. Can you guys see my screen? Can you guys see my screen? Anybody? All right. So now, Mark, Destiny said something about it, about what he understands like it. Yes. So we're talking about the computer today. Beginner friendly, like I'll break down everything for your yeah. So here we have um, so let's start. So this guide provides a beginner friendly in-depth exploration of what Git and GitHub. It covers version control fundamentals and core GitHub commands, then GitHub collaboration and best practices. It has some exercise to build what confidence. By the end, you understand how to manage code versions, collaborate on projects, and contribute towards open source repositories. So, what are the things you need for this class? You just need a basic computer literacy, a text editor, e.g., VS Code, and what a GitHub account. Yeah, what are the tools you need? You need a laptop with Git installed, a GitHub account, and an ID, which is what text, also called text editor. But yeah, I'll teach you guys how to install all of this. Um, so, introduction to what version control and Git. So, what is the version control? What is version control? Wait, let me. What is version control? So, that version control system, also known as what PCS, track changes to files, allowing you to what manage, revert, and collaborate on code or documents. Imagine working on a group project where everyone overwrites the same file, creating chaos. So what they're trying to say here is, let's imagine me and Mark and Bessie are working on a project, and we are using the same repo. So without Git now, here, it gets fucked up. It gets because there will be times where it's going to cause what chaos, like it's going to cause chaos. So for example, now project final. Let's say we have um, let's say we have a, a file called project.doc, and two of us are supposed to work on it. There. So imagine I changed a particular line. a mark comes after I've already pushed towards it. Oh, let's leave it aside. Yeah. Okay, after I've already what's the best way to work on what's the best way to work on? Yeah, okay, imagine three of us working on the project now. And yeah, so imagine three of us working on the same project. All of us push the GitHub at the same time while touching one particular file. Yeah, sorry about that. I forgot something. Yeah, so let's proceed. So with Git now, Git helps us solve what? It helps us solve different stuff. Number one, by what? Storing a history of what changes. It stores what your history. Imagine you working on a project. It stores like a project history. Imagine you push it to GitHub, your commit and everything is solved with using what Git. So number two is what enabling collaborative collaboration without what conflicts. Enabling what collaboration without conflicts. What does this mean? Now with Git now, three of us, me, you, and Destiny, me, Mark, and what Destiny, can be able to work on the project without what causing conflict. Because imagine three of us following one project, we create our separate branch, which we are going to talk about. Imagine three of us in our separate branch. Then, even if there's a conflict here, it's way easier to resolve it. Yeah, it's way easier to resolve it using what Git. Yeah, so I think Git plays a very big role in software engineering or in coding as a whole. Yes. So the third one is what aligning version to what to previous versions. So let's imagine we merge a code that is not actually um, let's say we merge a code that has what's conflict. Yeah. So how do we resolve that? How do we resolve it? Because let's imagine it makes um, our code base. You get, let's say our production is no longer working out of that. So, um, yeah. So now what can we do? There's a particular code called revert. Yeah, we can revert our code to the previous version. You get, we can revert our code to the previous version. So there are two main types. We have what centralized and what distributed VCS. Centralized VCS is what? One central server holds the entire repository, e.g. SVN. While the second one is what? Distributed what? VCS. Now, every user has a full copy of what? The repository. Because without Git and GitHub, how can three people work on one particular project? Now, this is how it's going to be. After I'm done with my changes, I will not send it to you via Telegram or WhatsApp as well as document. You will now download it and do your own changes. They will not send it back to me again. So you can see that it's very chaotic to get. So now with Git, everybody can have his own copy of what code. Everybody can have his own copy of the code. You get why everybody can push, can create your branch and do other stuff. You get. So Git is a what? Distributed VCS. Now, you might be asking what is what? VCS. Version control what? Systems. Version control system. Meaning you can work offline and sync changes changes later, making it what? Fast and reliable. Making it fast and reliable. Please hope you guys can hear me. Hello guys, hope you guys can hear me. Okay. So yeah, let's proceed. Um, like I said, you can work offline and what sync changes later, making it what fast and what flexible. Now, Git was what so which was what stated by who? Linus. Linus Torvalds. In what? You know the funny thing, Git wasn't an intended project. It wasn't a project that was actually had in mind. It's not how it come about. This guy just said true. He's working on his progress. And something that will make things easier for him while working on that project. Then Git came to his mind. Now he created Git for what? Personal use. He created Git for personal use to make things easy for him. But as time goes on, what happens? People were like, oh, we like this stuff. We like this stuff. So that was how Git was like adopted. Like it's now over. Like you can't Git safe, you can't push to GitHub. Yes. So I mean you can push, but Git just makes everything easy. Yeah. That was how Git came about. And his name is what? Like Discover since 2005. So with Git is fast. It handles what? Large projects efficiently. It handles large projects efficiently. No matter how big your project is, with Git you can be able to resolve it. Then what the second one is what? Distributed. Each user has a complete repo copy. Now, we're going to talk about that where we talk about fork, then cloning, and all of that. We'll talk about that. So we have what flexible. It supports what branching, merging, and what collaboration, which means someone can come to your code and make changes and create a PR, which is PR is also called what code request. So they can make a PR and when you review the PR, you feel like okay, this is a good one. Then you can then what get it. You get. So what are the key concepts? The first one is what repository, also called what repos. A folder what containing your project and its history. A folder what containing your project and its history. The second one is what commit. A snapshot of changes with a message describing them. A snapshot of what changes with a message describing them. More like imagine you made a changes. So you take the snapshot of that your particular change you did, and with a well organized message describing what you change. You get. And the third one is what branch. A parallel version of your project for safe experimentation. Branch. Let me come again. A branch. A parallel version of your project for safe experimentation. So more like um, imagine or for the branch. Let's say we are using one particular branch. Now, it actually works. I mean, it's possible to use one particular branch, but the reason why branches are even used is, let's say, if there's a particular bug, it won't affect It affect the main branch, which is the production branch. Yeah. Sorry about this. Don't affect the main branch, which is the production branch. So with branch now you can like create as many branch as possible. Let's say you want to create a new, you want to do a new feature, you can create a branch for that, create a peer and see what's next. Now, before I proceed, does anybody have any question? Hello guys, does anybody have any question? I mean, we're going to write some code, definitely. Any questions, guys? Does anybody have any question? Hello. Okay, since there are no questions, I think just indicate if you can hear me by throwing an emoji. Just okay, nice. So let's proceed. Now, it's install what? Git from what? The Git official Windows. So let's go and install Git. I already have Git, so I already have it installed. So let's see. But this is how you do it, yeah. Um, so if you are a Mac user or Windows or Linux, you click on what download. Then you select each of the OS you're using. If you are using Linux, click on Linux. If you are using Mac, click on Mac. Then if you're using Windows, click on what Windows. As for me, I'm using Mac, so click on what Mac. So after this, what is next? There are different ways you can actually install it. There are different ways you can install it together. Yeah, you can install it using this code right here, this command. You can install it using this. Then if you don't have Vue, I mean this for those that have Vue. If you don't have Vue, you can just click on this. It take it to you take it to their home page where you can actually install it. Yeah, my network is kind of slow. Yeah, then you just copy this command right here. This one right here. You just copy it, then your view is what installed. So let's copy this. I already have it, but let's still try it. All right, so let me search for signing now. So we have terminal. So this is my terminal right here. So you just paste it and it's going to what install it for you. But now I'm not going to do that because I already have it. Yes, I'm not going to do that. Then once this finish it has finished installed, what do? We are going to what? We are going to close this. You are going to close your terminal and open it again. It's going to sync. Again, so once you close it, they do um so you just open it again. Then what we need to do, Then you're going to do what? Git dash dash version. So once you do git dash dash version and they give you this, means that your Git has what been installed. That's what it means. But if you're a Windows user, you go to then you just click on what's Windows. Let me okay. Then you click on Windows. Then you click on what? This particular side. Oh yeah. Make sure you just click on the recommended version, which is this. If you're a Windows user, you just click here to download. You're going to download more like an app. Get once you download it, then you click it, you double click it and open it. Then just keep on clicking yes until it gets to the last side. Just click on and keep on clicking yes until you get to the last slide. Then you continue. Then you do the same thing, open your terminal, you do git version. Once it shows a particular code, it means that your git has been installed. Yeah, let's continue. So now we need to what? Configure our Git. We need to what? Configure our Git. We need to tell our Git that we want this Git to use our email and make sure it's the same email you are going to be using for your GitHub. Make sure it's going to be the same email. Then you put your what? Username, your GitHub username. I mean, for now, just put this, your username should be what you are going to be using on GitHub. So just make sure of that. We are going to talk about GitHub on our next class due to time. So let me go to my terminal. So now we need to configure this. How do we do that? We do what? Git config dash what? Global. Then what? Dash global. Then what? User dot what? Name. Then inside this quotation, then you are going to have we are going to have double string. Then we are going to do what? Double string. Then inside your double string, you now put your username. As for me, my username is what Martin types. So my username is Martin Vibes. So you what? Click enter. So now your Git config has been what? Set. So you do the same thing with this. You are going to do the same thing with this. So you just come here and do what? Git config dash then you do then the citation you put your what. So please ask a question if you don't understand. I'll answer. So then you click on what? Enter. Now this is saying, what is it saying? Okay, yeah. Say unknown option. This is supposed to be A. This S, yeah, it's supposed to be replaced with A. So I did a mistake. So let me clear. So we'll do what? Just go back. Um, so we just go back and then we'll replace it with what? A. Then we'll click enter. So it means that has been what set. So let's continue. So we need to verify installation by doing what? Like I've already said before, git dash what? Version. For short, you can just do what? Git dash b. Simple. It's the same thing. You either do git dash version or you do what? Git dash b. So this should what? Display the installed git version. This. I mean, it might be more than this by the time you're installing it. It might be what less. As for me, it's what more than because mine has the what latest version. Yeah. So troubleshooting tips. Number one is what? Ensure Git is added to your system's path. Now for Windows, use Git Bash for what Unix like terminal experience. What do they mean by Git Bash? So There's something that comes with, okay, does anybody have any question? Okay. So there's something that comes with there's something that comes with Git, which is called what? Bash. So in your terminal, we have so Bash is a what unique like terminal you get. We have different types of terminal we can use. So we have the words ZSH, we have Bash, we have Fish. I think there's Fish there. There are many of them that we can use, but once you install Git, it comes with what? Bash. And what am I saying? I'm saying Bash is the words preferable to use, uh, is the words preferable use Unix on your terminal. You get. So how do you switch to Bash? So on your terminal and your VS Code, you just click on this arrow. Just click on this arrow, then you click on what? Bash. If it doesn't show up, you restart your bash, your terminal, sorry. If it doesn't show up, you restart your terminal or your VS Code. So then check configuration with what is git config dash list. So we come here and do what git config dash list. So what is it saying? It's saying my username is what? Martin by, and what? My email is what? This is my email. You get. Let's say you get lost at some point. You do what git config dash help. So it's going to like tell you commands that you can run. Yeah, it's going to tell you commands that you can run. Then now look at that list we're even looking at. Look at the list. It's telling us that it's going to what explain what each of them do. What each of them does actually. So this is a list of variables set in the config file along with their what values. So to get out of this, you don't do Control C. Oh, sorry. Yeah, let's proceed. So activity. How many of you are on your laptop right now? How many of you are on your laptop? Hello, how many of you are with your laptop? All right, Mark. So I believe you have Git installed here. You can mute your mic and talk. I believe you have Git installed. Huh?
Yeah, I have it installed.
All right. So let's proceed. I don't know for others. If you don't have it installed, you can just what I'll send you the hackend after this class so you can go through it. Yeah. So what is the next thing? This is supposed to be an activity for the class, but let's leave it at that. We'll come back to it. So what are the core Git commands? What are the core Git commands? So the first one is what? Creating or managing a repository. Creating or what? Managing a repository. So a Git repository is where your project and history live. Yes, because before you can start before you can start interacting with Mark, your mic is on. Yeah. So a Git repository is where your project and its history live. So here's how you can start. So before you can even push to GitHub, you need to what initialize a what repo, also called repository. So the first thing we do is what? We do git init. That's the first thing you do when you want to initialize a repo. So let me create a new folder. Let me open let me open my VS Code. So inside this VS Code, I want to create a new VS Code. Yeah. So I'm going to terminal, then new terminal. So let me zoom in. So I want to create a new folder called. So first of all, I want to cd into my word downloads. And I'll create a new folder called make directory, and I'll name it um, git underscore GitHub. Then I'll now put what? Due. So let me just leave it at this. So I've created a new folder. Now I want to see into how do I even look? How do I even know if that folder is being created? I'll just do ls. So ls lists all the files inside downloads. So let me check if I have my folder with. So I named it git. So it's supposed to be around here. Um, yeah. So look at it. We have it here. So I'm going to what? cd into that folder called git. I'm there. So I can just do code what dots. It opens a new code dots. Just opens a new VS Code with that directory linked to it. You get. So now let me create a new file called. I want to create a new file called Martin dot what? Martin dot doc. Sorry, Martin dot docs. I created a new file called Martin dot docs. So now, what do we do next? I want to initialize the repo. Who can help me? What do I do to initialize the repo? Hello. Yeah. So to initialize the repo, we do what? Git init. We do what? Git init. So you can see what they're saying. Using master as the name for the initial branch. Remember, like I said, there needs to be a branch called either master or main. There needs to be what branch that you can push to what Jupyter. So it mustn't be master and main. You can change it to what develop or anything, any name of the choice. Yeah. So to check our branch, we do what is branch. So what is it saying? We say we need to what configure the initial branch to use all of all of your what new repositories, which we what compress or suppress this moment. So we do that using what git config global init branch. This is the old way of doing that. So what do we do to create a new branch? Like I said before, names commonly chosen instead of master are what main and what trunk or development. You get. So to create a new branch, or before we even create a new branch, right? So let's create a new branch called. So how do you create a new branch? You do what? Create branch, then the name of the branch you want to um, assign to the repo. So now I'm going to be using master. I'll be using master. So what is it saying? Not a what valid object name. So git rank dash n then what master. So remember we forgot this n again. We forget this n. So you need to add this dash n when creating a new branch for a new initialized repo. Then when we do git branch, we are going to see the branch prepare. All right. Okay. Um, and let me come in. Git branch. Okay, yeah. You can see at the bottom left, it's saying what master. So master is assigned to it by what default. Before we can even see the branch, what do we need to do? We need to what? Now we created the what? It does git folder to track what changes. I mean, you cannot see it here, but how do we see this particular file? Let me show you guys. So you go to your downloads where you created the new folder, and when it was what Git and GitHub. So when you click it, we are not seeing the .git file being created. So how do we see our .git file? So show view options. So click on show view options and let me see. Really why I do this stuff. I'm gonna um coming. So get info. Um I've gotten um really why I do this stuff. Yeah. So once I remember, I'll make sure you guys how to see your .git. I'll make sure you guys that. Yeah. So always, well, where did we stop? So we are going to do what? Add. We need to what? Add or we need to what? Stage or change file. What do they mean by this? So now this is saying what? When you move on, it is saying what? On track. So we need to make this particular file track. We need to be able to what? Track it. So how do we track it? We do what? Git add dots. You either what? Do git add dots. This dots now, what does it do? It stage what? All changed files. As long as you change the file or you create a new file, it will stage it or you add it. Make it what? Trackable. But if we have two files and you want to make one trackable, you want to stage a specific file, you can just do git add, then the name, then the file path or the name of the file. You get. But now we can just do git add then what? Martin dot docs. When you click enter, you can see it has changed from what A to what. Before it was showing on track. Can you see? But now it's showing what? When you move on, it is showing what? Index added. Can you see? So we've added it. And we've added it. So what is the next thing? We need to commit it now. Remember, I told you this commit. Remember what I said here? I was saying it's what? It's a snapshot of changes with a message describing them. Again, it's a snapshot of what changes with a message describing them. So now, what did we do? Let me add a file. Let me add something. Um, hello world or something. Hello world. Yeah. So I added what hello world. So if you come here, so I added what hello world. So now that I've added hello world called what, and I give it a hashtag, or let me give it to you. So I added a hello world. So we need to what commit this hello world. The file actually, we need to commit the file. How do we commit the file? We do git commit dash n, then what? Descriptive message. So if you come here, what did we do? We are going to just give a descriptive message you can understand. It doesn't create a new file or create a file, martin.docs. I mean, this is descriptive enough again because we created a file called martin.docs. I even do what and added some text. I think this can work. So if you click on what enter. So what is it saying? Huh? So it's saying what one file changed. Zero insertions, zero deletions. So we didn't delete any file, we just was putted and changed one file. You get. So what is next? So we need to check our status. So remember, I committed before it was showing a year, but when you hover on it, this message is going to change from this to modified. You can see now at first it was showing on track, and we then did it add dots. So git add dots adds that on track files into the repo that we created. So now it's inside there, but we haven't what modified it. How do we modify? We do that using what git commit and a descriptive message describing what we changed. You get it? So so when you move on this, it's just to show what's modified. It's showing modified there. Then so what is next? What is the next thing we need to do? So commit what? Save a snapshot of what? Staged changes. Saves a snapshot of what? Stage changes. Number four, we need to what? Check status. Now, what if we want to know the current status of your file? You can also what? Get status. So what is it saying? It's saying, let me bring this up a little bit. So it's saying what? On branch master, changes not stage or commit. Use git add dots to what? Update what will be committed. Then use what git restore to restart changes in the working directory. So now we've modified martin.docs. So for us to continue, we need to what? Git add dots. Okay. Git add dots. So when we do git branch, so git branch, it's saying what? We are in what? Master. We are at what? Master. So we committed this file and what? Uh, we do what? Git add um, git from Yes, updates. So you can see we've added the file. Now it's not showing anything because why? We've committed it. We committed it into what? It takes a what? Snapshot of the stage or what? Of the stage changes. So when we do git status now, we're saying what? No branch on master, so there's nothing to what commit because there's nothing to commit here. So what if we then added another one and said, I want this one to be, let me just put a text, play up your mind and what? Play up your mind and fly. Yes, I added this now. So when we come here and we do git, let me, when we come here and we do our git status, to show you something, to say what? We've changed, to say that on branch master, changes not stage for what commit. Because now it's telling us that we changed a file. And if you notice, there will be a green stuff right here that says this file was added, this line was added, which means you changed the file. So for us to see that we did this status and it's telling us to do what? Git add dots. I'm using dots because it's just the file, yeah, just only one file we have. So we do git add dots. Now it has added it. So we need to what? Commit it. Use commit -n. Then we'll now see added. Remember, write the descriptive message. Added a new file called added a new file called not a file, added a new text. Added a new text. Yeah, this can work. Added a new text. Then if you want to be more descriptive, you can see added a new text called in your mind apply. Well, I'll just stop up here. So when we click on it, now committed it now into what? Our .git, um, our .git file. Remember, I was supposed to show you the file, but I forgot how to do that. It's kind of invisible, but there's a way you can make it visible. Yeah, so this start to show the modifier stage and what on track files. Then we do what? View history. How do we view our history now? We just come in and do git log. When we do git log, it will tell us all the commits we've written, everything we've done. So the first one was what we said, or the last one. The first commit we created was what? Creating a file called what? Main. That is, create a file called Martin Docs and added some text. So the second one I did was what? Updates. I added updates and it will show you the time when you ever added it. So I added it level 12. Then the last one I did was what? Added a new text. Last one I did was what? Added a new text, and you can see it yourself. I added what? A new text. Then it will show you the commit hash or the commit ID. So let's say you want to delete this particular commit. We'll get there. We'll get there. So you can delete or revert a commit back to what? Your head. So deep dive. Now we have staging area. Think of it as a draft for your commits. Only stage changes are what included in the commit. Let's say I have a new file called tune.md. Remember, I created a new file, so it's going to show me on track because I haven't tracked it yet. And here I come and I updated it to what? Clear up your minds. Let me add S here. Remember, anything as long as you change something, it means that you change the file. So let me add this here and let me save. So it will tell me what? I have modified this file, so I need to what? Add it again. Why this one? I created a new file. and it is what on track, which means I need to do git add dot or git add during dot nd. So if I come here and I do git status, it will show me two different stuff now. It will show me what on track file, which means this file hasn't been tracked before, it hasn't been modified before, it hasn't been watched staged before. But why this one is what change is not staged for commit, which means I have actually touched this file, I have staged it before, but I made a what I have staged it before and I made a change. I made a change. Then yeah. So for this second one, it's telling us to do what? Use git add or you do git commit dash a. But using git add, the name of the file is more what better. So commit messages, write a clearer messages, e.g. add login page for team clarity. You get example. When you do git add, you see readme.md. Let's say you added a new file. Look at it. So if I were to add this file now, what will I do? I'll do git add deal.md. Then you hit enter. So you're saying I've added it. Then if I want to commit it, I'll do git commit dash n. N stands for what? Message. But also remember that if we have like 20 files we created, we can't be doing git add j and let's say I created um dune.md, dune1, dune2, dune3.md, dune4.md, up to 20. I can't be doing git add dune1, git add dune2. I can just do what git add dot. It adds what everything. You get that's the stage what everything into the repo. So now I want to add this dune.md into this. Remember at what when you hover on it, it will say I have what index what added. So I need to work commit it, and you need to work write a clearer message, add or like just add something, add um, dune.md file. Remember, just write something that is clear. So I've added it, so I can do the same for this. Now I can come here and say git add dot. I want to add anything, then git commit dash n, then git commit dash n, then you can say add uh, update update sentence or something. Just remember, just type something you can remember. So you can see it. Yeah, we have to. Then when we do git log, we get show us how the commits is done. So it's done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Done 5 commits. So I say it shows you your history. So I would have given you guys. Hello, am I still audible? Can you guys hear me? Hello, can you guys hear me? All right. Um, let's proceed. So the next one is what? Activity. I would have given you guys activity, but you guys are not here. I will give you guys our assignment. Create a repo with a readme.md file. Make 3 commits. Initial commits with the file. Add a line to. I would have given you guys as class but let's continue. Now we have what? Branching and what? And merging. Understanding branches. Branches allow you to what? Work on different features or fixes without affecting the main code base. What did I say? Branches allows you to work work on different features or fixes without what affecting the main code. Remember I said before that with branch now you can work on different stuff. Even if you have error, it won't what affects the main branch you get, which is the master or the main branch. Now, what are the key commands? So remember to see your branch, you do what? Git branch. Git branch shows you your branch you are on currently, or you can just come here and see your branch. You can see we have master. When you click on master, you can see it's saying your branch is what master. Then when we go back, this one just lists all branches. So how do we create a new branch? So we do what git branch, then to create a new branch, you just with your branch name. So I want to name this uh, view underscore pytech or something. So I'm naming this Jane underscore pytech. So when I do git branch again, you can see we have our bot branch here, doing what underscore pytech. And the one we are on currently is what master. When you click on this master by the top bottom left, you can see our new branch that we have, right? And we have doing pytech. So this is to create a new branch. So how do we switch to that branch that we created? How do we switch? How do we switch to that branch? So you either do git checkout, git checkout dash, oh sorry, git checkout then the name of the branch you created called what doing underscore pytech, or you do what git switch. Then since you created master, is going to you can see both of them work. So we are now in master. So you can either do git switch or do what do git checkout. So git checkout is the old way of doing things. So they've updated their documentation. They now use what git switch, they're the name of the branch. So now we're going to do git what switch. Well, me, I still use checkout. I mean, I'm already used to it. So switch sounds new. So you do what git switch, then what during Africa. Yeah. So we've done that already. Now, when you click on this, you can see we are in our new branch. And remember, our file still remains the same. So what if you want to create and switch to a new branch? The same, like without at the same time as you are creating, it's switching to that branch instantly. We are going to get there. I don't want to rush. So experiment safely, e.g., test a new feature, work on multiple tasks simultaneously, then keep main stable for production. So now, if I do this branch, now you can see we have our master. This is our main branch, which is called master. And we are what? We are in doing Python. So we don't want to be using Python master as we want to keep master as the main branch so that in case we have error with this branch, we know that what master is still safe. So I want to add a new feature, but I don't want to add it on master. I want to add it on what during Python. So let me make a changes in this. Let me add a file called investor. Now this is I've added a new file called investor. So it's still going to show me modified. Remember, I'm not creating a new file. I'm modifying the file. So I modified the file and it's called what? I added what investor. So once I do it, I remember it's under what during Python branch. Once I do git status, it's telling me to what git add. So if I do git add dot, I'm adding everything and I do git commit dash m. Then inside I want to say add text in deal.md. Once I hit enter, you can see. But now notice something. Remember that in our deal.md we have investor ID. So let's switch back to master. Hit switch master. So I've switched back to master. Now you can, if you notice, we don't have anything here. The changes we made in Jupyter, it doesn't reflect on what master. That is why creating branches is very important. So well, let's switch back to our Jupyter. So you can see we have the file now. But how do we bring it back? Let's say this is the feature that we added and we tested everything and make sure that everything is working. How do we bring it back to main? So we do what? Git um, switch. We do git switch, then main, master, sorry, I'm saying main. So remember, it's not showing here. So to bring it into this build.md, we do what? Git merge. Remember, if you see what? Investor Martin. Now we added a new text here. Remember, we added, but if we check out to, or if you switch to June, you are not going to see what? Okay, during tech. So you can see that we still have our mapping. So it's kind of vice versa, but not completely because with main, once you check out to a new branch, you're going to see that changes unless you add it. So let's say we do git switch to master, and let me add this change to my. Remember, you do your git add or then git commit, then you're doing uh what? Let's say added added Martin text. So I've committed it. And when I switch to my deal now, doing Python, you can see that we are not seeing our Martin in our deal Python. How do we update our branch to see these changes? So to update your branch, how do? You just do the same thing. You do git what? Merge, then you do what? Master. Simple. You can see that we have you can see the changes here is now being updated. And you can see that we are on doing Python. So you can see that it's rich master. You can see that both changes are the same. So let me create a merge config now. Yeah. So before I even talk about merge config, let's know what. So once you do this, beside you, I want to do you or order not to docs. Okay. Wait. The code. Come let me cancel this. Let me use then there was what? I don't know why it's showing me this code. The code. I'm coming. Let me just log this. Not it here. Was right. Yes, it is. I haven't seen that code before. Okay. I think I understand what you're saying. All right. So the codes I'm going to do says um incoming. Doesn't this so guys, let me try something else to do. Adults, remember, the same thing. So as we add everything, so I've added this. So let's check out. To be honest, I've forgotten how to consolidate conflicts because I know it's when I mean, oh God. So here the I'll do was git merge. Hopefully this causes a net conflict. Git merge. Add Betsy. It didn't. Um, I forgot to put I'm coming. How to cause merge conflicts. It's to branch. So also gives to branch. So to intentionally cause a net conflict by full step. Um, so you can see that in my mail. Okay, let me go to my mail. Let me check out to master. Sorry, I don't know what I'm saying mail every time. So you can see that in my Dune, I have this. So I want to edit it from below from master to uh, okay, check out and thing. So I want to do it, I want to edit it and what? So I want to edit the file. To edit the file. So I want to add this now. I want to add this. So I've added it. Remember, there are two different things. There are two different things. Then we need to do what? To do it, add dots, then sorry, we hit comments, then the message. So let us say edit to. So we have our message. Now, remember what this is expecting and what the mail is expecting are two different things. So now let's check out to master now. It's switch. Remember, you can use switch or check out master. You can see here is what hello from master. Why the other one is different from this. So let's say we want to now that this is expecting same thing with this. So now let's merge now. Let me show you something. Let's merge. And so it's going to show me complete. So what is it saying? Now this is what I was trying to say. So what this is saying is that this is the current change that we have, and the incoming change that we're trying to merge is what different from the current change. Yes, so it will then ask us that do we want to accept the current change, which is this, or do we want to accept the incoming change, which is this? Yes. So remember, it is saying hello from master. Why this is saying hello from add greeting? So this two now is what is causing the conflict. Yes. So it wants to add this into this line. So what do you want to do now? Either what accept current change, accept incoming change, or accept both changes. For now, I want to accept incoming change. So I'll click on incoming change. Now it has changed from, let me click on Z. It has changed from hello from master to what? Hello from add greeting, add incoming change. Can you see? So that's how you resolve an issue. And once you come to your terminal, then you do git add new. So we've added it, then we'll do git commit slash n. I'll say fix conflict, fix conflict and merge what's name. I'll merge add within branch. So can you see? Now we then have same thing with the add within branch. So that is how you cause a conflict. Remember, how does a conflict come about? How does it come? It's when the main is expecting something and you are changing it. No, there's difference from you. There's difference from you modifying the file and changing the file. So let's say you are adding new files to it instead of modifying it. Modifying it now would likely what cause conflicts. You get. So that is how we came across this conflict. So I just wanted to show you guys how to resolve conflicts. Remember that mainly master is accepting hello from master. Instead of me to add hello from master, add greeting, hello from master. Instead of me to add this to my add greeting branch, I'm doing what? I'm removing master and replacing this. So it is expecting when I want to make it, it's expecting this with your changes you want to do. It's expecting this particular word. All of this it is expecting that yeah, with your changes you want to do. So instead of it expecting this, it went it saw that you moved master and replaced it with this. So that is where the conflict came about. So it's going to fix, going to tell you, do you want the current change? Do you want to accept incoming change? Or do you want to accept both changes? So it's now your choice to do that. Yeah, so let's continue. So the last one is what deep dive. So there's something called fast forward merge. So when the target branch hasn't changed, this simply moves the pointer forward. What do I mean by that? So let's say your target branch, which is your main, and your main what merge another branch. So once you are going to merge branch A, once branch A notices that your main was how it met it, forward the merge. Just fast forward, quickly moves the pointer forward instead of us having to cause any conflict. You get. Another thing I'll tell you guys is conflict is a must. You must have conflict. So there'll be times where you have conflict, you'll be frustrated. But I mean that was then, not anymore. That was then. Then we have what merge commits. When both branches have changes, it creates a new commit to what combine them. Git what creates a new commit to what combine them. Anytime you are having conflicts and you resolve them, so Git automatically creates a new commit for us so that you can combine both changes and make it clear. Then we have best practices. So, in fact, the thing I'm going to tell you guys is always keep branches focused on one feature to minimize what's conflict. So let's say you're creating a whole site, yeah, and there are a lot of features you need to implement. So let's say you want to do a feature that you want to do a login feature where user can log in, yeah. So instead of you doing that on main, you can just what create a new branch. Once you are done with, once you are done working on login on that branch, and you've tested it, you can then merge it to main. And you want to do a sign up page. The same thing, you create a new branch for it. Once you are done, you merge it to main. So that's why it's like that is the best way to get. Keep branches focused on one feature to what minimize conflicts. Yeah, that will be all for today. Then on our next class, we'll talk about what GitHub for collaboration and what project posting. Um, I hope you guys understand what I was saying since. Any question? Any question? Hello, can we get the class to? Definitely, I'll send it. I'll send it to the group. Any questions? So, since there are no questions, I believe that will be all for today's class. So, what is your assignment now? So, your assignment is to what? Create a branch called what? Future greeting. Add a greeting to readme.md, which means I'm going to, okay, I'm not going to do that. So, create a new folder, then you create a new branch. On your main, you just create a new file called readme.md. You get and merge it into what's name. You definitely create a merge conflict. I thought you guys have to create a merge conflict, yeah? By editing the same line in main and feature greeting, then resolve it. So that would be your assignment. Let me send you the link.